Good evening. I'd like to call this meeting of the York City Planning Commission to order. May we have a roll call?
Johnson,
Here.
Velez.
Here.
Burgos is excused, Davis is excused, Wolf is excused, Gaines. Here. Moore.
It's noted we have a quorum. Minutes from the previous meeting. Has everybody had a chance to review them?
So, oh yeah, the minute, go ahead, I'm sorry. Minutes.
Are there any additions, changes? Is there a motion to accept?
Make a motion to approve the December minutes of the Planning Commission.
Second.
We have a motion, second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Roll call.
Hold on. Johnson,
Aye.
Velez.
Aye.
Gaines.
Aye.
Moore.
Committee reports, zoning hearing board. Everybody have their
So
copy?
they did not get emailed yet this month. Andy promised me them by close of business today. And let me just look one more time before, because I was rushing here, so let me look. Did you get them?
No.
Okay, so no, they were not given to us by close of business. You will get them via email as soon as they give them to me.
All right.
But everyone was approved? Was- Okay, so all of the cases, was there 4? I think there was 4 cases and all of them were approved and moved on. Approved by zoning hearing board.
All right, thank you. Any unfinished business? New business, election of officers. Is there,
I'm gonna move it up.
is there a motion for chairman?
Make a motion to nominate Mike Johnson as the chair.
Okay, hold on. Go ahead.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Johnson,
Aye.
Velez.
Aye.
Gaines.
Aye.
Moore.
Is there a nomination for vice chair?
You can't.
Oh, I would nominate Matt Davis.
I don't think, he's gonna decline. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I nominate Chris Velez.
Okay.
Hold on,
I second.
hold on. Johnson,
Aye.
Velez,
Aye.
Gaines,
Aye.
Moore.
Nomination for secretary.
Nominate Maribel Burgos.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Johnson,
Aye.
Velez,
Aye.
Gaines,
Aye.
Moore.
Our first case tonight is 1-2025-Z-SE-B, 1225 East Market Street. First, we'll hear from staff, and then we'll ask the applicant to step forward.
All right, on here, the applicant is Frank Kibler, but normally it was supposed to be Norma Johnson. That's who is supposed to be running it. But Frank Kibler is P.O. Box 3706, York, PA, 17402. The zoning district is UN1, Urban Mixed Residential Commercial District. Planning Commission date is January 13, 2025. zoning hearing board date, January 16, 2025. The summary, the applicants propose to use the property as a group home with a total of 12 individuals. The use is defined in 1304.1-1.4.2. According to the permissible use table, the use is not permitted in the UN1 zoning district. A special exception is required for the applicant to use the property as a group home in the UN1 zoning district. Variance Appeal 1, the applicant seeks a variance for a group home, 6 to 8 occupants to allow up to 12 as defined in section 1304.01, 1.04.001, subsection B at 1225 East Market Street in the UN1 zoning district. Therefore, staff recommend denial of variance to allow a group home with 6 or 8 occupants for the property at 1225 East Market. That should have been up to 12, but special exception for the use, the applicant seeks a variance since the proposed use does not meet the ordinance requirements of a group home in the zoning district. The property is a single-family home. Staff have reviewed the variance provision in 1311.10. Therefore, staff recommends denial of the use variance to allow a group home for the property at 1225 East Market Street.
Good evening. Could you provide your name for the record, please?
Norma Johnson.
Could you explain a little more what you're doing here?
I'm here for my occupancy license to open up a girls' group home here in the city of York, Pennsylvania.
Ma'am, you said your name was Johnson?
Yes.
Could you give us a little background on your proposal? What you, how the occupants would be situated within the residence, and possibly a little background on the purpose?
Yes. The purpose of Marcy's House of Refuge is to help young women in and around York County who are in placement, who struggle with being at home for whatever reason, where they may be removed from the home. We would like to teach them life skills, educational values, and things of that nature. I do have a question and answer pamphlet that I would love to pass out.
You're welcome to bring it up. Thank you.
Don't be.
What is that she's passing out?
Q&A. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
This is just a general question, but the educational assistance and life skills training, are you bringing in consultants or advisors or what?
They'll go, excuse me, they'll attend the school in their area, but we do teach life skills where they have opportunity to have groups come in the facility as well as go outside in the community.
Okay. Will you be referring or receiving referrals just from your county or an adjacent county or what?
We'll receive from Dauphin, Berks County, different counties in and around York County.
Any commissioners have questions? Anyone from the public that would like to address this case? Do we have a motion for the variance for occupancy?
I make a motion to recommend approval of a variance for a group home for 6 to 8 from 6 to 8 occupants to allow up to 12, as defined in section 1304.01 1.04.001B at the property located at 1225 East Market Street in the UN1 zoning district.
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Roll call, please.
Johnson?
Aye.
Velez?
Aye.
Gaines?
Aye.
Moore?
Motion passes. Do we have a motion for the special exception?
I make a motion to recommend approval of a special exception for a group home as defined in section 1304.01-1.04.001B at the property located at 1225 East Market Street in the UN1 zoning district.
Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Johnson?
Aye.
Velez?
Aye.
Gaines?
Aye.
Moore?
Motion passes. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Next case is 2-2025-Z-SE-V, 613 West Market Street.
That cleared out the whole place.
That was the whole crowd, huh?
Clear out a room.
Applicant Marquise Crampton, 223 North Hartman Street, York, PA 17403. The owner is Sonic Properties, located at 622 Linden Ave, York, PA 17404. Zoning district, UN1, Urban Mixed Residential Commercial District. Planning Commission date, January 13th, 2025. Zoning hearing board date, January 16th, 2025. Summary, the applicant proposes to use the property as a group quarters with a total of 8 individuals. This use is defined in 1304.1-1.4. Subsection B, according to the permissible use table, this use is not permitted in the UN1 zoning district. A variance is required for the applicant to use the property as group quarters in the UN1 zoning district. Variance 1 appeal, zoning ordinance requires 3 off-street parking spaces for the proposed 2 units.
2 units.
No. The applicant can't provide any parking. The property is landlocked. The applicant is seeking a variance to reduce the number of off-street parking spaces. Staff have reviewed the variance provision of 1311.10.d and finds that the property does not have unique physical circumstances or conditions that warrant relief from the requirement of 1.5 parking spaces per dwelling unit. Therefore, staff recommend denial of a variance to the minimum number of parking spaces required for a multi-family. No, this is not multi-family. For the property is 613 West Market Street. Special exception for the use. The applicant seeks a special exception since the proposed use does not meet the ordinance requirements of a group quarters in the zoning district. The property is a single-family home. Staff has reviewed the variance provision in 1311.10.d. Therefore, staff recommends denial of a use variance to allow group quarters for the property. Yeah, this is 613 West Market Street.
Good evening, sir. Could you provide your name for the record?
Yeah, Marquise Crampton.
And can you give us a little more background on what you're proposing?
Yeah, a recovery home, home of open doors. We're at 613 West Market Street, obviously. We're already licensed with DDAP, the Department of Drug and Alcohol Administration. And we're just looking to get licensed and get started.
I'm sorry, did you say it's already licensed?
Yeah, licensed with the state.
Okay.
He's licensed through DDAP.
Yeah, yeah.
Were you here for this property before?
No, not this one. I was here for a separate property on a separate part of Market Street. That was a while ago.
And in here it says that they will be disabled, so they won't need parking.
No, most of them are coming out having drug addiction. Some of them dual diagnosed, so most of them will be pretty much at ground zero, starting their life off.
Okay, that's what I thought.
With that, do you have any, like a list of services that you might offer?
Yeah, we do have like a pamphlet, our whole 90-day schedule. You mean something to hand to you now, or you mean in general, what do we do? Yeah, so we do credit repair, financial life skills. The number one thing, obviously, is drug abuse and counseling. That's through peer mediation. We help out with financial counseling to help them get their like different like subsidies for government, to help out with future housing, things like that.
And you already have units like this, correct?
No, this would be my first.
Oh, well.
This would be my first.
In addition to, just one follow-up, in addition to the services that you just named, and I'm sure there are other ones that are going to come online, but do you plan to offer like, or connect with, I guess, any trade schools or things like that?
In the future, right now, that is definitely something we're going to grow into doing. There's a lot of things you can learn with just a desktop. And, with the way the world is changing, IT is, the thing. So that's definitely something I've been having on my plate to get moving forward. A lot of grants, research and stuff.
Gotcha.
Will there be an on-site manager for
Yes,
the property?
there's a house manager that lives at the house. Yeah.
So they're there 24/7 or?
Not necessarily 24/7, but he is there and available between me and him, yes.
Okay.
He does, he has his own life, so he goes to the store and stuff like that, but yeah.
Any further questions? Anyone from the public that would like to address this case? Could you step forward and provide your name, please?
How you doing? Oh,
My name is Regala Willoughby. I reside next door to this property particularly. I got a few concerns in regards to the property. Up to last year, we had the Night Watch present one of those recording devices on that particular block, which is Market and West Street. That area is known, quite known for drug use and that kind of situation. I was put in a facility in the midst of this situation. I feel as though it's like we already have a couple of group homes over there, a couple of rooming homes over there. It's a struggle right now. And I just think that it might be, what I don't want to happen is that it get worse by making it much easier for folks to get and be involved in nefarious activities. In terms of space, my understanding that, I looked at some of the variances, and I realized that a couple variances that I didn't see come forward in terms of space for all the individuals. I had opportunity last year when I saw this was being brought into fruition, and I approached the city members and say, look, man, there's something going on right here. Can you check into it and so forth? At that point, it was nothing. Well, supposedly there was nothing being, but I know, because my security camera have caught a lot of individuals, you know, 1 or 2 individuals walking, coming and going from that particular situation, as well as folks putting chairs outside in front of my property. And I'm like, hold up. I said, I'm gonna just wait. I never got an opportunity to speak with the person who owned the property, but it's like, I don't like how that looks, and I don't like how it's going. Are there any things that you're gonna put in place to prevent, you know, that kind of spread of the worries? Because I have families and folks in my building, and I don't want them to feel any kind of way when people are just outside there congregating, because it attracts bad attention, and, you know, you want to be at peace.
Well, absolutely. I live in the community also. I was born and raised. The number one thing is just involvement. Right now, you know, with that area, if you're familiar with that area, you know that there's a lot of drug availability in that area. So what we're trying to do is level that, you know, put ourselves on the playing field as well. Rather, our houses there are not, you know, most of the people are outside, congregating, moving around, living in behind that church over there and all that. I've walked around multiple times, talked to them, try to get them off the street, help them out, do what I can. So having that house there is like kind of like it's like our piece on the chessboard now. So, you know, I have lights out front. I can have cameras out front and all that. First of all, no one's allowed to be out front or anything like that and congregating at all. Also, we have our house manager who's actually physically there that can shut anything down. The main thing with this paperwork is the number one thing that this helps me out with is a 15-minute eviction. So what happens is if a person is, you know, becoming a negative, you know, like a negative candidate, we're able to get them out there that day right then instead of waiting 45 days to go through the full entire eviction process. And also with this being licensed a recovery house, we could step up our services to actually get out and branch into the actual community and do things in that area, as far as having block parties, as far as doing Job Corps and different trainings and stuff like that. We do work with other facilities and other nonprofits in the area. So I 100% hear what you're saying in that area. I was actually born and raised right over on Salem Avenue, so I've seen it my entire life. So that's what your concerns is actually the reason I'm doing it right then and there, because we have to fight back. The problem's not going to go away. You know, we have to have our influence there. If there's 3 or 4 houses out there that every time you walk by them, they're giving you pamphlets, they're telling you, hey, look, if you want a free meal, hey, you want a free pillow, you want some help with your recovery, you want help getting your first apartment, you want help getting your first job, as opposed to every single house you go, you just got people sitting out on the block just chilling, doing whatever, and you know, doing whatever and all that. We're just trying to push back, you know what I mean? So I don't know if there's a more specific question I can give you or answer anything like that.
What you said sounds pretty promising, and I look forward to working with you.
I would definitely, yeah, I was going to say I definitely want to get your information and all that. If you're living in an area, you're definitely the people that I want to talk to and work with. All right, thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
No, I mean, honestly, that's the not in my neighborhood syndrome is why I even got into it, because that's the only way I really feel like we can actually get rid of, you know, combat the problem is by being hands-on right then and there, you know. Trying to just sweep it under the rug and get it to go away, it doesn't work that way, you know, so.
Hey, can I say something? I worked with him before, and his units are good. He has surveillance camera all throughout the properties, and he's on top of it. So when it comes, you shouldn't have to worry about it, because when it comes to stuff, he is on top of it, and he does really take really good care of his properties.
Thank you, thank you.
Motion on variance for parking.
Is this on the block where Turkey Hill?
That's the one up, yeah. I make a motion to recommend approval of a variance for parking for a group home for 6 to 8 occupants as defined in section 1304.01-1.04.001D at the property located at 613 West Market Street in the UN1 zoning district.
Second.
Motion second, any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Johnson,
Aye.
Velez,
Aye.
Gaines,
Aye.
Moore.
Motion passes. Do we have a motion for the special exception for group home?
I make a motion to recommend approval of a special exception for a group home as defined in section 1304.01-1.04.001A at the property located at 613 West Market Street in the UN1 zoning district.
Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Johnson,
Aye.
Velez.
Aye.
Gaines,
Aye.
Moore.
Motion passes. Thank you, sir.
Applicant and owners the same, Jules Hector, 649 Linden Avenue, York, PA, 17404. Zoning district is UN1, Urban Mixed Residential Commercial District. Planning Commission date, January 13, 2025. Zoning Hearing Board, January 16, 2025. Summary, the applicant proposed to use the property to rent out office space at 220 South Duke Street. The applicant is seeking a variance for professional offices as defined in 1304.01.4.03.002. Variance 1 use. The zoning ordinance requires a variance for a professional office to be located at 220 South Duke Street. Applicant is requesting his business office to be placed on the first floor for convenience to tenants to pay rent and conduct other tenant owner business. Therefore, staff recommends now the request for a variance of the applicant is ensuring a better oversight and handling of the business affairs for their tenants.
Hello, could you provide your name for the record, please?
Scott Zimmerman.
Marie Hector, and we have here Jules Hector.
And can you give us some more background on what you're proposing here?
Yeah, the building was originally a school at one time. They had bought the property, and they went as a business venture to where they can use the space to lease out to other businesses, small businesses that need space to lease. So just basically, they got a lot of space that can be used. There's plenty of parking in the back. So, I mean, we just want to be able to use the space that we have.
What is it currently zoned as?
School. It's a daycare.
Is that not commercial?
Yeah, it's commercial, but it's a different type of use that it wasn't close enough to do a non-conforming continuation.
This is across from Kingsport Park, right? Yeah.
Yes.
And they want to use it for office spaces,
yes.
different business, or just office space?
Yes.
Is it different type of businesses taking, this office versus that office, or?
No, it basically, there's different accesses to the different parts of the building that are like to separate them off. where if this business is here, there's the space for them.
How many buildings occupy this property?
There's 2 buildings on the property, each with 2 floors.
So both buildings would be utilized as
Yeah.
offices?
Yes.
So the school was broken up into 2 properties?
I'm sorry.
The school's broken up into 2 properties?
Same parcel, same address.
There's 2 separate buildings.
So it would be if they were 2 separate addresses and 2 separate parcels, but being that there's 2 buildings on the same, and they want a house, they want to do the same thing in each building, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Do you have an idea of like what type of tenants, business tenants that you're like marketing to that you're seeking to attract, or is it just?
Basically, the basic bid, dang,
I can elaborate on that.
what's that?
I can elaborate on that.
Yeah, go ahead.
We have offices for immigration services, and that can help in the community. And so, in that kind of nature, people have finance businesses, and with the property itself, we have our own business that can be in there as well. It is a real estate business property, so we open to all different businesses that can be located and help in the community.
Any other questions from the commission? Anyone from the public that would like to address this case? Do we have a motion for the variance for office space?
I make a motion to recommend approval of a variance for various business offices under section 1304.01.4.03.002, business, financial, or professional offices for the property at 220 South Dew Street.
Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Johnson,
Aye.
Velez,
Aye.
Gaines,
Aye.
Moore.
All right,
Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
We could do this afterwards, but I have a question about the wording in this denial. So I'm just gonna set this to the side. But after you.
Next case is 4-2025-Z-SE-V, 175 Lincoln Street.
Applicant and owner is the same, Kenny Ramos, 405 Greenfield Street, Manchester, PA, 17345. The zoning district is UN2, Urban Residential Neighborhood District. Planning Commission date, January 13th, 2025. Zoning Hearing Board date, January 16th, 2025. Summary. Applicant would like to convert a single-family dwelling into a two-unit multifamily dwelling. Variance 1 appeal. The applicant seeks a definition variance since the proposed use does not meet the ordinance requirement of conversion from industrial, institutional, or commercial. The property is a single-family home. Staff have reviewed the variance provision in 1311.10.d. Therefore, staff recommends denial of a definition variance to allow 2 units for the property at 175 Lincoln Street. Variance 2 appeal. The applicant seeks a dimensional variance since the proposed density is less than permitted by the zoning ordinance in this district. Staff have reviewed the variance provision of 1311.10.d and finds the property is big enough for the 2 proposed units. Therefore, staff recommends denial of a dimensional variance to allow 2 apartments for the property at 175 Lincoln Street. Variance appeal 3. The zoning ordinance requires 3 off-street parking space for the proposed 2 units, and the applicant can't provide any parking. The property is landlocked. The applicant is seeking a variance to reduce the number of off-street parking spaces. Staff have reviewed the variance provision in 1311.10.d and finds that the property does have unique physical circumstances or conditions that warrant relief from the requirement of 1.5 parking spaces per dwelling units. Therefore, staff recommends denial of variance to the minimum number of parking spaces required for a multifamily dwelling for the property at 175 Lincoln Street. Special exception 1 for the use. The zoning ordinance permits multifamily conversion from a different use by special exception in the zoning district in 1304.1.1.002.002. Staff has reviewed the special exception provision for this property. Therefore, staff recommends denial of the request for a special exception to allow a multifamily dwelling at 175 Lincoln Street.
Is the applicant present? Just step forward and provide your name, please.
Kenneth Ramos.
Trina Ramos.
What condition is this property in currently?
It's completely demolished right now. It's pretty much everything's been taken out, and we just waiting to get approved so we can move forward with the blueprints to rebuild it back up. But everything's, some of the pictures we provide, everything is pretty much laid out to the foundation.
It looks pretty much like it's been gutted.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, got it. Yep, exactly. So, as we gutted it, we had to repair some stuff just to make sure everything was solid and kind of like go into like a pre-rebuild phase. You know what I mean? Just to get everything secure and safe to be able to work in there.
The property was destroyed by fire.
So you've had the exterior walls checked and everything, and they're secure?
Yeah, we had an engineer come in and look at the wall. We actually had to take a large section of the wall down. It was like, one section was like 3 stories. We had to bring everything down to the first 1 story.
So I'll look at the blueprints, the existing, correct me if I'm wrong, it looks like you're going to demolish the entire property except the foundation?
Yes.
Okay.
And then we'll put new rafters in and frame the walls all the way up.
Okay.
When this when this property comes down, what kind of support does the other half of the structure have?
Well, I mean, each structure, I mean, has their own foundation, but as far as the joining wall that connects the two structures, it's pretty much solid because it's about, I don't know, it's about probably like 12 brick wide. It's like a nice distance, the middle to join the wall. So that wall has been repaired and is going to be repaired some more. But it's just pretty much just sitting alone, you know what I mean? It's not no bearing on the other house.
So the the other half of the building, that dividing wall is brick?
It's brick, yes.
Did it go all the way up to the third floor?
Yeah, on the central wall that's connected to. They have, you know, they have the rafters and the joist that runs across.
Yeah.
And connects everything and kind of like tightens everything up. It's pretty much going to be a brand new house, reattached to the old. That's already there.
So the diagrams you had in your paperwork, is that from the former building or is that the proposed building?
This is the proposed building.
Yeah, that's from the engineer. He's talking about this one. You're talking about this packet here? Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is from the hired engineer that gave us like a blueprint of how we're gonna design it.
I'm just looking to see if there's any pictures in here.
So would the first floor be a separate apartment from the second and third?
Yes.
Any further questions? Would anyone from the public like to address this case? Do we have a motion for the variance for definition multifamily?
I make a motion to recommend approval of the variance to the definition of multifamily conversion from a different use as defined in section 1304.01-1.02.002A for the property at 175 Lincoln Street in the RS2 zoning district.
Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call?
Johnson.
Aye.
Velez.
Aye.
Gaines.
Aye.
Moore.
Motion passes. Do we have a motion for the dimensional variance?
Make a motion to recommend approval of a dimensional variance for multifamily conversion from a different use found in section 1304.01-1.02.002 to include conversion of a single-family home into 2 units for the property located at 175 Lincoln Street in the RS2 zoning district.
Second.
Further discussion? Roll call, please.
Johnson.
Aye.
Velez.
Aye.
Gaines.
Aye.
Moore.
Motion passes. Do we have a motion for the variance for required off-street parking?
I make a motion to recommend approval of the variance to the required off-street parking spaces found in section 1304.01-1.02.002 for the property located at 175 Lincoln Street.
Second.
Further discussion? Roll call, please.
Hold on. Johnson.
Aye.
Velez.
Aye.
Gaines.
Aye.
Moore.
Motion passes. Do we have a motion for the special exception?
I make a motion to recommend approval of a special exception to allow multifamily use as defined in Section 1304.01-1.02.002 for the property located at 175 Lincoln Street.
Second.
Further discussion? Roll call, please.
Johnson,
Aye.
Velez.
Aye.
Gaines,
Aye.
Moore.
Motion passes. Thank you, folks.
Thanks a lot.
Add one other thing.
Sure.
We currently own the property at 177 as well, so we have a vested interest in the attached property. That property is currently empty, so we will definitely make sure 175 is good to go with 177.
All right,
Thank you.
sure.
Frank, how you doing?
Not even with a higher.
Small. Get you.
Anything else, folks?
No. Sorry. No, nothing else.
Any updates on the comprehensive plan?
Oh, yes, hold on. Let me get you that exact, because I did have. So, let me see what I sent today.
That's like a, invoice like 24 before, is that it?
I'm sorry?
I thought I saw something on the website. Is there like a link to the plan on your website?
Not sure.
Oh, I swear these emails just
I don't know if I'm
fade
looking
away.
at the right thing.
I know there's a link for the old one, but I'm not sure about the proposed.
Okay, so what I have on that is that we've sent, Jessica has sent what is needed to City Council. The pertinent dates in the process are below. Planning Commission public meeting. Oh, great. These aren't the right dates. There won't be any more public meetings, but she sent everything to City Council. I told you that. That email just disappeared. So I have to get the other one. I do believe it's January, the committee meeting is January, let me see what that Wednesday date is. I believe it's going to be the committee meeting on January 29th. And then the meeting, then it'll go for one of the meetings in February, I believe the 4th. And then they'll have the public meeting before the actual meeting, and then it'll sit until the 18th of February.
So in other words, the planning commission is not having a public meeting?
No, there's no need for another public meeting. It'll be the public meeting before the city council meeting. That's the last one, because that's then it'll be for 45 days. The 45 days would have passed then. I can't find Jessica's, to be honest with you, I can't find Jessica's email, what had the dates on there.
How did they determine there wasn't a need for the commission to have a public meeting?
Because we've already exhausted all the public meetings. We've had everyone that we had to have. Let me check back with Jessica, but I know that those were the dates. And for whatever reason, here we go. So I'll need whatever council is supposed to be voting on regarding the comp plan. I'll need the documents for the January 29th, 2025 committee meeting. The deadline to get them to me is January 22nd. So that is for the committee meeting. Then I'm pretty sure that,
We never had a public meeting.
No, they kept telling us that we didn't need one.
see, I can't find it.
Well, I have a question. She kept stating that we could have we would hold a public meeting, the planning commission would hold a public meeting. And you're saying we've already had all the public meetings. Those were sessions to determine what they wanted to put into it. We've never had a public meeting on the draft proposal.
I'll email Jessica and I'll get back to you, but that is,
In other words,
because these emails just keep, and it's the one that I came down to is like, those are the wrong dates. They're in there, those are old.
So what is the meeting
I
on
don't
the
know why these dates are in
27th?
there. I have no idea why these dates are even in there.
That's the committee meeting.
I have no idea, but I'm going through every one
When they're
of,
coming to, or the community council?
that's the only dates that are in there.
The council committee itself, I believe.
Here we go, hold on, this might be it, hold on. Let's just see. Nope, that's not it either. Nope. Don't know what happened to it.
What was the informational session for?
So it had to go to York County Planning Commission, and they recommended adoption at their last meeting of the York County Planning Commission. So,
So why are we having a meeting on the 27th?
The joint meeting he's talking
what meeting are you talking about?
The one that you sent out emails
Oh,
saying that we
that's
should
our
all be.
quarterly meeting. That's just the informational sessions. That's what we're having with both zoning and planning, so, yeah. Yeah, that has nothing to do with comprehensive plan. But I'll email her back again. For some reason, her emails do not get saved in my system properly. I don't even know why, that they just don't.
Yeah, there's something wrong with the system.
There is. I mean, because it's there, I saw it. I saw those dates. And then, I see where Diana got back to her when she needs the stuff for committee, but then there was some more dates after that. And it stops there. It just completely stops there. Don't know why, but it does. I don't know. So, there's a whole bunch of old dates, old emails that are of no sense of the matter to me. So, I don't know, I'll have to get back to you on that. But, anything else? I'll email you guys. Because I have to email you the zoning cases from last month, but they said that they'd be there. Andy is on military duty, or whatever you call National Guard duty. So he said that they would be.
All right. Anything else? We stand adjourned.